It is rather sunny and bright here in Bangalore today as I welcome you back to my channel with a new video. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I request you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. My videos are not merely restricted to the automobile industry, but I do try to make the vlogs on things which I find interesting and which might have something new in them. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. If the electric vehicle segment, particularly the two-wheeler segment, can be compared to an ocean, then this ocean has been rather calm for many months now. There have been no new models, no new launches, nor the technology has seen a tectonic shift, if I could say. But of late, there is an event which could potentially be the most path-breaking that this segment has ever seen. But there certainly has been an undercurrent. The customers have been steadily moving towards an EV thanks to the sky-high petrol prices that we have here in India. This event that I'm telling you about can be compared to an seabed volcanic eruption or a seabed earthquake, which you often associate with a tsunami. And this event does have the potential to create that massive tsunami of customers finally making a switch to the EV. I am in fact talking about the launch of this Ola Bike. If you are somebody who is eagerly following up this EV segment, or rather wanted to make the switch to an EV, then I'm sure you must have read about this Ola Bike. Now Ola here promises a bike with a range of over 180 kilometers per single charge and with a top speed which far exceeds the top speed you normally associate with EVs. So finally, if you are somebody who is waiting to buy an EV, then maybe you can wait a little longer and go for an Ola Bike, which the numbers are quite mind-boggling. And if they do fulfill the promise of the numbers that they're promising, then we are in for a massive upgrade. But if you are somebody who wants to buy an EV nevertheless, but wants something which has been time tested, which has customer reviews, and then you can either go for the Ather brand, which promises to give you the sportiest EV experience, or you could look at the pure EV brand, the 7G, that I've been owning for over a year now. Now I have been making a lot of videos on the 7G experience. The very first video wherein I have informed about this bike, you can check that out by clicking on the pop-up. Also I have made quite some videos about my experience of owning an EV in the city, the various upgrades that the pure EV company has brought into the subsequent models. The model that I have here, the 7G, is from the very first generation. So it does miss on some of the future upgrades which the subsequent models got. And one of which was the parking switch, which normally comes here under the mode selector. This parking switch, when engaged, stops the vehicle from just moving ahead when somebody accidentally turns on the accelerator, because unlike an internal combustion engine, you do not really have any ignition switch here. You simply turn on the battery and zip ahead as soon as the accelerator is turned. So this parking switch here essentially saves one from any accidental accelerator turning. This was rather useful and the first generation lagged it. This can save you from, let's say if you have any kids who are standing ahead when you drive and you stop somewhere and this kid actually decides to turn on the accelerator, as most of the kids do, then that would be quite risky. Last month I got a call from Pure EV team informing me that there is going to be a mega servicing camp here in Bangalore, and they requested to get my servicing done to my bike. Now this servicing would include the battery checkup, overall health checkup of the bike, the checkup of various parameters and other things. So I went ahead and gave my bike, and they kept my bike for almost 2 to 3 days, and upon delivery of the bike post servicing, I came back home as usual. I parked my vehicle and just went about doing my day-to-day work. I parked my EV 7G on the central stand because that is the safest compared to a side stand. So the next time when I wanted to use my scooter, I disengaged the central stand and I turned on the accelerator, but the vehicle would not move. Now this had me worried, and the tachometer showed a P, which was completely new to me. Now, in the 1 year that I have owned the bike, there have never been any instant where the bike gave me any kind of a trouble. So I was rather skeptical that okay, this servicing camp did not go as per plan, and then I may have a newly encountered problem because the bike clearly shows P, which I mistook it for a problem with either the battery or the motor or any of the components. But after a few hit and trials here and there, the vehicle started moving. So then it struck me that this P actually indicates a parking mode, which as a new update to my vehicle. I was not told about this at the time of delivery after the servicing, so it was actually a pleasant shock to me. Anyways, once the vehicle goes to a parking mode, in order to disengage it, you have to press the right brake. Only then the tachometer changes to its usual indicator and the vehicle just moves ahead. As I have been informing again and again in my previous videos, the one thing which I like a lot about the Pure EV brand, the Pure EV company, is that they make sure that they put in this extra effort. They travel this extra distance to make sure that the customer is always getting something new out of their product. Just think of it. This first generation, the customers owning this first generation are the only ones who are lacking this parking switch or the parking mode. But Pure EV has made sure that they find a way, they find a solution to this by introducing the parking mode. Now I can be rest assured, even if a child is standing, my child is actually standing in front and decides to turn on this accelerator randomly, even when the battery is on, because this bike will not move unless I release the parking mode by pressing the front brake. So Pure EV, as always, I am impressed by your servicing and also by your vigor of doing something new each and every time. So thumbs up once again. And I hope my experience with the 7G will be as stress-free and as hassle-free as it has been for the 1 year. So signing off now.